Germany 2-0 Hungary. Hosts qualify for last 16 of the Euros with convincing performance after goals from Jamal Musiala and Ilkay Gundogan. Two thoughts are gaining traction with each game Germany play at this tournament. One is that they are shaping into the favourites, and the other concerns the identities of whichever daft souls allowed Jamal Musiala to get away from English football. What a wonderful player, and what an enduring source of regret for England that he switched allegiances for years ago. It's pointless to seek wisdom after the event, but Julian Nagelsmann, Bayern Munich and all of Germany must truly love the squirming. Here, in the city of Musiala's birth, came the latest installment, with his strike against Scotland on Friday followed by another against Hungary before he made a decisive contribution to the second, finished by Ilkay Gundogan. At 21 years of age, this quick-footed, fast-thinking bolt of promise is not just part of a great team but driving them to new heights, too. That much was clear in Stuttgart, because it was precisely the sort of game in need of smart lockpickers, for the Hungary that lost so meekly to Switzerland was not the same Hungary that resurfaced against Germany. The statistics will undersell a side that held only 30% of possession, but out of such a defensive crouch they threw decent punches, and in doing so represented a tricky second act for the Germans after the Scottish walkover. Indeed, there were multiple occasions in the first half when Julian Nagelsmann's system looked vulnerable to quick counters up the flanks, especially when they were accompanied by late runs through the middle from Dominik Szoboszlai. Goals from Jamal Musiala and Ilkay Gundogan have secured Germany a place in the last 16. Musiala set Germany on their way in the first half with his second goal of the tournament. Gundogan, who had assisted Musiala, made sure of the victory with a second-half tap-in. A blueprint? Maybe. But it would be an exaggeration to say their hosts were rattled. They were too good for that and too rich in their talents, especially within that front line of rainmakers and supported by the genius of Toni Kroos. Sitting back against them will surely only work up to a point, and that was ultimately the message, but Hungary at least had a right to feel proud and also a little aggrieved. The latter is a right their manager Marco Rossi exercised. His post-match fury concerned Musiala's opener, and specifically the apparent foul by Gundogan on Willi Orban, that went unpunished by the referee, Danny McAlee, as well as the VAR. Orban seemed to be looking for an invitation to go to ground in his own 6-yard box, but he was shoved, and from the loose ball Gundogan assisted Musiala for 1-0. Rossi was furious, saying, "I've never complained in my career or looked for excuses, but what the referee did tonight, come on." The referee was guilty of double standards. He allowed a push on Orban and for a similar situation, later, whistled for a foul. Germany would have won anyway, but the referee in my opinion was the worst on the pitch. The result guaranteed Germany's passage to the knockout stages and left Hungary in a mess that felt out of keeping with their performance. Unlike the Scots, who were butchered by this same German starting 11, Ross's side were aware of the need to suffocate the spaces around Kroos in the knowledge that he can orchestrate chaos from anywhere he plants his feet. That act of asphyxiation was embedded in a plan that often saw the Hungarians defending with 2 blocks of 5. There was success in the method, shown by a variety of good chances on the break, one of which fell to Roland Salai inside 30 seconds and another that saw a goal disallowed for Roland Salai at 1-0 down. Szoboszlai was particularly dangerous on the break, not to mention via his free kicks, having forced a good first-half save from Manuel Neuer. Alas, parked buses can struggle against fast-moving trains, and Germany were predictably more dangerous at just about every interval. Gundogan stood out for his fluorescence whenever their hosts had the ball, and his reward was the second goal, which was constructed out of patience against a packed Hungarian area. Julian Nagelsmann's side are shaping into Euro 2024 favourites after convincing wins. Hungary's European dream is on the verge of collapse after 2 defeats in 2 games. It was Musiala who cut through with the line-breaking ball to Maximilian Mittelstadt before the overlapping left-back centred to Gundogan for a one-touch finish. Gundogan later returned the favour with his words, "For me, Jamal is incredible. It's such a joy to play with him. He's someone who can do the unexpected in every situation. He's a difference maker, maybe the most important one for us at the moment, picking the final pass and adding goals to his game, which is very important in his position. He's a complete player, I love him. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he can be one of the best. The one that got away." Thanks for watched this video. If you like this, don't forget like and subscribe this channel. Goodbye.